Hello, my name is Nathaniel Swanson on Sage Intacct Solutions Excellence Team, and in today's video we're going to be going over some of the features available in Sage Intacct's new visual reporting application, the Interactive Visual Explorer. The Interactive Visual Explorer, or IVE for short, lets you explore your company's financial and operational data through visualizations that are simple to make, yet powerful in the insights that they can provide. This insight helps you make better, informed business decisions at every level of your organization. In addition to creating attractive visualizations quickly with its straightforward UI, IVE is able to report across multiple different dimensions with just a few clicks, allowing you to visually explore your data. And all of this occurs in real time, meaning you can modify and expand upon your charts and graphs without needing to refresh your data or move to a separate system to get information on all of your company's operational and financial records. In this video, we will walk through building a simple bills analysis visualization, show how to use IVE to analyze your data in greater detail by using comparison effects and real-time drilling into our data, and then take a look at a few more complicated visualizations to show all of what the Visual Explorer is capable of. So let's start with a blank canvas within IVE and walk through building a visualization. We'll start with just a blank canvas. IVE comes with an extensive library of pre-built visualizations that you can install into your own environment, but we'll start from scratch here. On our blank canvas, I want to point out a few of the components of the UI. On the left side of the screen, we can see our available data elements, which contain all of the data that we want to include in our report. When we expand these folders and click on one of the available data elements, we can see information about it down in the bottom left-hand corner in the Properties window. Along the bottom, we can see available canvases that we have inside of our project. You can see that this is a blank project with only one canvas available in it currently. In this example, we're going to create a bills analysis report for the current year, broken out by location. So first, we need to grab our two data elements. First, we need the billed amount from the current year from our calculations section. I've already created this calculation for this example. To include in the report, you simply click and drag over into the window on the right. Next, we're going to need our location name. We simply scroll up to our attributes section, click location name, and drag onto the x-axis. Now we have a chart that gives the full billed amount for the current year, expanded by each location in this environment. Now that we have all our data for this chart, let's make it a little bit more useful. First, let's change the chart type. If we come up to the chart type option in the top left and select the drop down, you can choose between several different types of visualizations. Let's change it to a horizontal bar chart. Next, let's change the sorting mechanism. If we right click on the chart, go move to sort, we can sort this report from high to low. Next, let's create a comparison effect to compare current year to prior year. First, we will add another calculation that divides the current year's billed amount by prior year. Again, we simply click and drag, this time into the color option. Now we can see each of our columns has turned a different shade of green, the darker the color indicating a better performance when compared to the prior year. This makes it easy to quickly at a glance tell which location is performing well and which are meeting expectation. So in this example, we can see San Francisco is shaded the darkest, indicating this location had the biggest increase in payables compared to the prior year. So let's drill in further to see more detail about this. IVE has the ability to drill into a set of information with a click. So let's break out San Francisco's billed amount by the department to see which department contributed the most to this change. If we right-click on San Francisco, select Drill, and then find Department Name, the report will rerun now, showing San Francisco's billed amount with each department reported individually, and we can see that the finance department had a major increase from the prior year. Now let's dig a little deeper and look at which vendor contributed the most to this change. We can select the Undo button in the top right or Ctrl-Z to undo the previous change. Selecting this brings us back to our original report. We're going to perform the same steps, this time instead using the vendor name. So we'll right-click on San Francisco, select Drill, and this time we're going to find in the Attributes section, Vendor Name. And now we can see that State Farm Insurance caused the biggest uptick from the prior year. IVE also makes it easy to use already created visualizations to create multiple visualizations showing different subsets of data. So let's use what we have already created to now show the top vendors by amount billed. First, let's undo our previous change. First, we're going to need to duplicate this visual. So we right-click on our canvas, select Duplicate Visual, and now we have 2 copies. On our second copy, we want to change the graph to show billed amount by vendor instead of location. We come back over to our data elements, find vendor name, click and drag over to replace location name. Now we can see our graph has changed, but there's a big drop off after the first 4 vendors. So let's filter this to only look at our top 4 vendors. We simply grab the billed amount, drag down to our filters section, right click on the filter, change the filter type to top bottom N, and let's set this to 4. Now only those top 4 vendors are showing in our graph. This is a good representation of how quickly you can create dynamic charts and graphs that give a powerful insight into your company's standings. Now let's take a look at what these charts and graphs look like outside of the editor. Here I've opened up a new project within IVE, this time showing the AR side. This is how visualizations will appear when run instead of from within the editor. You can see that now we're looking at our chart in full screen. This visualization shows total sales for the current year. On the left, we can see sales amount by customer, the middle by item, and finally by location on the far right. Just as you can from within the editor, you can use these visualizations to explore your data. By selecting one of the customers on the left, the 2 visuals on the right will reframe to show information just for that customer. Each time we click, the visualizations will change based on our selection. When we're done diving into the data, we can click off of it to bring the report back to show all information. Similar to how they appear in the editor, our list of canvases is displayed at the bottom of the page, and we can click between each tab to move between these. Let's take a look at a few more examples of some more sophisticated visualizations that we have already created beforehand. Here, you can see a waterfall report showing revenue over the years with a % increase or decrease listed at the bottom. IVE gives you flexibility in how you want to display your data, allowing red when we have a decrease, green with an increase. IVE also has access to several types of visualizations that are not available outside of IVE. In this example, we're going to take a look at sales by location, shown on a map of the world. You can control each of these bubbles to be larger or smaller based upon the total amount. As you can see here, we're looking at 11 million as compared to 1 million. You can also control the map shading and color as well to make really interesting visualizations shown in a contextual map. Another great feature about IVE is the ability to include any visualization that you have to a created dashboard. Here we have a IVE dashboard with 2 IVE projects included. In this example, we are looking at our running expenses at the top, and at the bottom, our current year revenue. We are still able to use all the same features as before, such as switching between different canvases. This allows you to view a wide variety of information about your company, all from one central location. I want to show a few more examples of some of the more advanced capabilities of the Interactive Visual Explorer. In this project, we have a few different visualizations all shown in 4 quadrants. Let's take a look at a few of these. In the top left here, we have a sunburst chart that shows expenses broken out by year on the inside ring, location for each year in the middle ring, and finally by department in the outer ring, showing the expansion of 3 different dimensions in one chart. In the top right here, we have a graph showing expenses on the x-axis and revenue on the y. Each dot is a different month since the company's inception. IVE has the ability to add trending data to show if a given month falls within expectations. The shaded gray area you see is the expected trend for this company, so we can identify months that fell outside of that expectation. IVE also allows you to build presentations from within the application. In the top right of the screen, when you select Narrate, you can then grab individual canvases, drag them down to the bottom of the screen to act as slides in a presentation. You also have the ability to add comments to include on individual components. So we can add a comment box, add a little bit of text, and then drag this to where we'd like the text box to appear. Now when we run our presentation, you can see the text box appear as we move between slides. In addition to being able to build your own charts and graphs, the Interactive Visual Explorer gives access to an extensive library of pre-built visualizations available to anyone using IVE. On the Interactive Visual Explorer lister, in the top right-hand corner you can select Visual Board Library, which brings up the full list of available reports. These reports are available for you to use right away to install into your own company, or to use as a template to use as a starting point to build your own visualizations. In this video, I've shown you how to create a simple IVE visualization, how to use comparison effects to analyze your data, how to modify that visual to expand across multiple different dimensions, how to use pre-made reports to generate new visualizations, and then a few examples showing what you can do with the full capabilities of the Interactive Visual Explorer. IVE features a straightforward UI, making it easy to generate powerful visualizations to report on your financial and operational data. Its interactive capabilities allow you to visually explore your data, giving more insight into your company, allowing you to make more informed business decisions.